Namaste.
Welcome back, Stellar Stargazers, and a warm cosmic hello to our new listeners. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Heather, and you're tuning into the Stellar Soulcast,
where we decode the cosmos one episode at a time.
If you listened to our last episode, we discussed the Zodiac signs. But in today's episode, we'll be breaking down the building blocks of the Zodiac with a brief introduction to the 4 elements and the 3 modalities. Think of them as a mix of unique energies for each zodiac sign, referenced in the Western tropical astrology.
Yes, and a quick reference to, remember throughout this episode, is that elements represent the basic nature of a sign, whereas modalities are their style of expression.
Yes, so let's briefly break down the elements. A simple definition of the 4 elements is that they are the core vibe or temperature of each sign. They describe how we engage with the world emotionally, physically, mentally, or spiritually.
In our last episode, we gave a quick intro to the elements when we grouped each zodiac sign, but let's go over them one more time. So starting off, fire, which includes the zodiac signs Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. They're known to be passionate, bold, and inspiring, okay? Now we move on to air. The Geminis, Libras, and Aquarius out there. Those social, intellectual, and curious individuals. Earth, which includes our Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorns. They are grounded, practical, and reliable. And lastly, water, which includes Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, our emotional, intuitive, and deep friends.
And a fun way to quickly remember the elements groupings is that fire ignites, earth builds, air communicates, and water feels.
Now that we reviewed the elements, let's jump into the modes, or in other words, the modalities in astrology. To define them simply, modes or modalities show how each sign moves or initiates change. They tell us whether or not a sign likes to start, sustain, or adapt.
So let's dive in. We will first begin with the cardinal signs, which include Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. They are the first mode as they start each season. They are often seen as the initiators, the leaders, and the idea starters. While they can be seen as great initiators, they may not always see a project through, and they often radiate outwardly. So let's start with the Aries. Now the Aries, they're definitely the epitome of the initiators as they kick off the astrological new year and they begin the zodiac wheel. And not to mention, they mark the start of the spring equinox. And the trend continues. Cancer season kicks off summer, Libra season ushers fall and the harvest season, and Capricorn brings forth the dread of winter. Which could be very fitting.
Yes.
Nah, just kidding.
We love you.
And I have a Capricorn stellium, so
Hey.
often love.
Yes. All right, now moving on to the fixed. All right, the fixed signs, which include Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And they are in the middle of each of the seasons and are often seen as the stabilizers. They're loyal, focused, and strong-willed. And unlike the cardinal signs, they may not be as quick to start in a project. However, they are goal-oriented and often don't like being thrown off course, and they focus on their end goal. Now let's look at some of our friends in all of this. We all have a Leo friend who will argue you down about a perspective they spend their entire lives researching just for the moment someone tries to challenge them. Or that Taurus friend that you tell to leave that person alone, but his or her emotions are too invested to not be loyal to the commitment that they have in their head with their situationship. Or maybe that Scorpio that you know that has added another lucrative passion project to their portfolio, which makes you think, wow, how are you doing this? But not really, because every business venture somehow works out for them, and we love you guys for that. And lastly, Aquarius. Our friends who will go out on a night out and 100% for sure make a new friend.
man.
All right. We gotta love a wild and out there friend. And speaking of which, we gotta talk about that last modality. All right.
Our last modality are the mutable signs. So in there we have Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. The mutable signs end each season, and they help prepare the start of the upcoming season. They are often seen as flexible, adaptable, open-minded, but can also be super indecisive. Believe me. They like choices and changes and can get bored easily if they're not stimulated. They radiate both inwardly and outwardly. So Geminis, they are known for their communication skills and adaptability. Virgo are known for their attention to detail and ability to adapt to situations. Saggies are known for their adventurous spirit and ability to embrace new experiences. And lastly, our Pisces friends. They are known for their intuition and their ability to flow with the current.
Wow, what a great breakdown. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. But honestly, if you're new to astrology and starting your journey with us, I know all of this might sound a little confusing, but to try to help piece it all together, you can think of the modalities like this. If astrology were a play, the cardinal signs would write the script, the fixed signs would build the set, and the mutable signs would improvise when the lights go out.
Ooh, yeah. No. Alrighty. So we're going to go forward and break down the modalities into their seasons. So our spring season signs include Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. Aries, fire, and cardinal. They're bold initiators, they're natural leaders, and they're always ready to charge ahead. It's probably because they're known for kicking off the zodiac wheel. Mm-hmm. The Taurus are earth and fixed. They're steady builders. They're exceptionally loyal and sometimes can come across a little stubborn. Now, Geminis are air and mutable. They're curious communicators, flexible thinkers, and love and thrive for change.
Nice. Zodiac signs which fall between, the zodiac signs that fall within the summer season includes Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. All right, so starting off, Cancer, water, and cardinal. They are emotional leaders. They're nurturing, protectors, and they're fiercely loyal to those that they love. All right, now Leos, fire and fixed. They're radiant powerhouses. They're creative and steady, and they love to shine. Lastly, our Virgos. All right, they end the summer season, and they are earth and mutable. They're practical perfectionists. They're detailed, driven, and they are adaptable helpers.
I love it. And going over into my favorite season, fall. Our Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. So we'll start with Libra, who kicks off the fall season. They're air and cardinal. They're the charming diplomats, and they initiate connection, and they often seek balance in situations. Scorpio are a mixture of water and fixed. They're often seen as deep souls, intensely emotional, and they're unshakable once they are committed to a project or a friend or any type of situation. Mm-hmm. And Sagittarius, they're a combination of fire and mutable. They're adventurous spirits. They thrive and love their freedom, and they're quick to explore new ideas.
Nice. Awesome. Now, with winter, the winter season includes the zodiac signs Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So, with Capricorn, they are earth and cardinal. They're strategic listeners, they're ambitious planners, and they get the job done. Aquarius, which are air and fixed, they are visionary thinkers, progressive and innovative, yet stubborn about their ideas. And Pisces, water and mutable. They are dreamy empaths, highly intuitive, and they flow with life's tides. How symbolic. little fishes. So you may be thinking once again, or maybe it just popped up, why is all of this important? Well, most of us are familiar with the basics of our sun signs. Remember, like we mentioned in the last episode, you have an entire birth chart that tells a bigger story. Understanding the elements and the modalities is key to really seeing how you think, you feel, and how you direct your energy. We'll be diving deeper into topics like houses and aspects, but that's in the future. Speaking of which, of getting to know more things, our next episode will highlight planets. All right, and it will help you understand what these things represent and how the elements and modalities shape your personal blueprint. I don't know what happened there.
I just totally like spazzed out for a second. I'm just so excited. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, that was great. No, we are so I think we're just so pumped. You guys can see us right
really
now.
excited.
We're just like all these smiles on our face. I hope it shines through to your ears.
Mm-hmm.
But as we did in the last episode, we want to just go forward and encourage that soul homework. So in the last episode, we asked you to reflect on what characteristics of your sun sign that you related to the most. Mm-hmm. And so
this time, we want to invite you to take some time to reflect and really think to yourself, how do I initiate change, maintain consistency, or adapt to circumstances in life? As we go into this journey together, these reflections will be revisited when you learn more in depth about how to read your planetary placements and their relation to elements and modalities in your natal chart.
Exactly. And with that, we encourage you all to try generating the natal chart or your natal chart by downloading the Time Passage app or visiting astro.com. If you have done so already, it might seem a little intimidating, but don't worry. We thought so at first too. I am just laughing because I'm just thinking of my initial time I saw. I was like, "What the heck is this?"
Yeah.
Anyway, so we've all been there. Once you see how easy and fun it is to read, you will learn so much more about your cosmic fingerprint in our universe.
We sincerely hope that you enjoyed this introductory episode on elements and modalities in astrology. Whether you're new to astrology or starting your journey by riding this cosmic wave with us, we hope you learned something new and fun today.
Absolutely. And with that, the next time we're diving into the basics of planetary bodies and giving a brief introduction on what the planets represent in astrology. So before that, hit subscribe to whichever podcast platform you're listening to us on. That way, you are the first to listen when we release our episodes every Wednesday and Saturday.
Turn on that notification bell and also follow us on our socials. The direct links are available in the description section below. Wow, what a tongue twister. And they are also listed on our website, which you guys should totally check out as we will release info about what's going on in the cosmos.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
And we'd also love to hear your thoughts about the podcast so far. And if you have any questions regarding anything you've learned, if you have topics you'd like us to touch upon in the future, just please drop a comment or message us through our website, DM us, whatever it is.
Even send an email.
Yeah, send an email, anything, because we just love hearing from you guys and want to bring forth what you want to listen to.
Yeah, we can't emphasize enough to let us know your thoughts. We love hearing from you guys, our listeners, our stargazers. And with that, we want to remind you all to keep reaching for the stars and trusting the vibes. Until next time, stargazers.